one of my inspirational songs right here. It's Free Bonds, it's Hitless. She put me in that mind state, you know what I'm saying? To get me going, motivate me, you know what I'm saying? This is my motivation right here. Free Bond, you can check her out on. She got songs on Hot 97, Power 105 down here in Salisbury, Maryland. She got songs on the radio in Tennessee and the whole 9 yards, you know? So check out that hit list on YouTube, SoundCloud, and on your radio. Free Bonds, that's her name. But this is Shooting the Breeze with Breeze right here, you know? And first of all, this is unscripted, unedited. I don't know what's coming out my mouth, so anytime, you know what I'm saying, we talking, you know what I'm saying, anything could be said. I don't know what's going to be said, you know what I'm saying. I don't write the script. This is unscripted, but it's just the way I like it because life is unscripted, right? Life has no script to it, you know what I'm saying. When you come out that womb from the day, you come out that hole, you know what I'm saying, or your mother's hole, you know what I'm saying. It ain't no manual like with a car that say, yo, this is the rules to life. This is how you gotta go. It's unscripted, it's unedited. So that's the way I like giving it also. Unscripted and unedited, you know. So the last time we was talking about how God is in your everyday affairs, you know what I'm saying? And stuff, and he's not necessarily in your church house, but he's in your White House, you know what I'm saying? And what I meant by that, you know what I'm saying, is that a lot of people play God like he's just a Sunday thing, you know what I'm saying? You fucking, I holler at you on Sunday when I put on my suit and my tie, or when I put on my dress and my heels, I'm getting in church mode, or I'm getting in God mode, you know what I'm saying? And it's not just for, you know what I'm saying, because I don't want to feel like anybody to feel like we just bounded to Christianity. No, I'm not, first and foremost, I'm not a religious person, you know what I'm saying? I don't have a religion, you know what I'm saying? So this goes for Islam as well, you know what I'm saying? Allah is not motherfucking just bounded to Fridays when you go to the masjid, you know what I'm saying? And you making your salats, you know what I'm saying? And stuff. No, God and Allah is in your everyday affairs, because for those of you that don't know, you know what I'm saying, or feel separated by the names of these religions, guess what? God is Allah, you know what I'm saying? And God is Yahweh, you know what I'm saying? So whether you Christian, Islam, or Judaism, you know what I'm saying? All of y'all are praying to and praising and motherfucking holding up the same monotheistic God. You know what I'm saying? This is all the same God. You know what I'm saying? That's just like me telling you my government name, and then me telling you, oh, my name is Breeze, but then somebody else saying, oh, no, we call him Lil Stank Stank. You know what I'm saying? It's all the same motherfucker. It's all the same person. I'm all that one same person. So this is what all these religions is doing. Just because they changed the name of this one God, it's no separate God. It's still that one monotheistic God. You know what I'm saying? That one supreme ruler of the universe. The one creator that created everything. You know what I'm saying? The one that created the multitude. You know what I'm saying? So stop getting caught up on names, you know what I'm saying, and sections, you know what I'm saying. This is the big divider, you know what I'm saying. This is the big divider that's dividing us and disunifying us today, you know what I'm saying. So this is why I felt as though it's important, you know what I'm saying, to go along with these YouTube videos, you know what I'm saying, to just try to bring some understanding to people, you know what I'm saying, what this book is about, you know what I'm saying, what this book is about. And all Islamic people as well, they know that the Bible coincides with the Quran, you know what I'm saying. So there's no separation there. For you Christians that don't know, you know what I'm saying, know that it's no separation between you and Islam, you know what I'm saying. So that's one of the things, and that's a big hurdle as well, you know what I'm saying, that we all need to get over. Because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying, you may be Christian and this person may be Islam, but at the end of the day, religion aside, that's little Monk. That's my cousin. You know what I'm saying? That's little JoJo from Wilmington. You know what I'm saying? That's making 5 slots today. And that's my brother. You know what I'm saying? This is my uncle. This is my cousin. We all family. You know what I'm saying? So religion aside, we should not let this separate us. And that's why it's important to understand what this book is about. This book is about, it's the greatest example on how a nation should conduct itself. You know what I'm saying? And even what America did with that Constitution, when they put that First Amendment first, that said freedom of speech, freedom of religion. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter who or what religion that you do. You know what I'm saying? You could come here and you free to do whatever you want religiously. You know why? Because that doesn't separate us, because we're still one under this nation. You know what I'm saying? Under this citizenship. You know what I'm saying? We still all Americans. You know what I'm saying? Regardless if you motherfucking Islam, Buddhist, motherfucking, whatever you want to run to, you know what I'm saying? And this is the divine dichotomy of everything, you know what I'm saying? You can run and be whatever you want to be, because at the end of the day, you're still in this box with the rest of us, you know what I'm saying? So say what you, I don't know, I'm Pentecostal, Epiphanial, and this, that, and the thing, and we do things like this. Guess what? You're doing things all the same way in accordance to what this law and what this Constitution abides by. And at any given time you get disrespectful with it, they gonna have something for your ass. You know what I'm saying? So you need to know this, you know what I'm saying? And stop the disunity. Let's start the harmony, you know what I'm saying? But another thing that we was going to go into and that we went into the last time that we talked about was how when the nation of Israel came about, you know what I'm saying, them 10 commandments was their modern constitution of that day. You know what I'm saying? Just like America has a constitution for this day. You know what I'm saying? And the importance of us breaking down this commandments, because a lot of people today, you know what I'm saying, these 10 commandments cause so much fear in so many people's lives, you know what I'm saying, and they're not living because they feel as though they're restricted by these rules or regulations or these motherfucking commandments that was meant for some people hundreds of thousands of years ago. You know what I'm saying? It's important to understand that, man, because for a long time I was fearful, and it took me a long time with reading this book and reading these commandments, you know what I'm saying, and shit. And while I'm reading them, one day the realization came upon me. I'm trying to follow this shit and everything and all that, and I felt as though me following this is me going against me. I'm not living because I'm trying to make somebody else satisfied. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to please a God, and for me pleasing this God, I'm not pleasing myself. Something's wrong here. And it took me for that, and for me reading this and trying to understand it, for me to say, you know what, God, if this is the way, and this is the way you got for me, you might as well send me on a one-way ticket to hell right now, my nigga, because I can't follow this shit. I love girls, I love pussy, you know what I'm saying, I love intermingling. It sounds stupid to me for you to make these beautiful women walking around here all day long, but you telling me I can't interact with them in certain forms and fashions, you know what I'm saying? If we two consenting adults, you know what I'm saying, having a good time with ourselves, who is it for somebody else to come along and say, no, y'all can't interact like that because it's against this and that and the third? No, fuck out of here. But then you going to turn around and tell me you're free to do whatever you want to do. That's not it. That's not. So it was something wrong. And it was something I was missing. You know what I'm saying? It was yearning. It was like, yo, man, at the end of the day, you this God, I keep in, you the creator. So obviously I would love to fuck with you. But if this is the way, yo, nah. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to myself. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather put this book down, you know what I'm saying, and live the life that I want to live, you know what I'm saying, because at the end of the day, life is about having fun and enjoying yourself, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, we made the monetary system and rent and all that shit, you know what I'm saying, so bills and all this shit. This is just a way for the nation to be civilized and orderly. You know what I'm saying? But that on a grand rectum scale of things, you know what I'm saying? That really, on an ultimate scale, life is all about having fun. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not having fun with your life, you're not happy with your life, you know what I'm saying? Believe me, you're missing out on a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? And it's a damn shame that this book has a lot of people more miserable than they do happy. You know what I'm saying? And that shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? So I feel as though the main message that God has been trying to send, and he's been sending it through other people, you know what I'm saying? And I want to give credit to a book that changed my life. You know what I'm saying? There's an author called Neil Donald Walsh, you know what I'm saying? And he wrote this book called Conversations with God. And it was after that I had that realization that, yo, I can't do what's in this book. You know what I'm saying? You might as well send me on a one-way ticket, you know what I'm saying? To the other spot, if the other spot really exists, you know what I'm saying? And stuff. And that's a whole nother topic because, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people are scared of this heaven and hell and goons and goblins and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's something that needs to be addressed too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these things need to be addressed so the fear can be taken out of life. So people could start living and enjoying life. You know what I'm saying? So boom, like we gonna get to all that, you know what I'm saying? But the point I'm making right now is that, you know what I'm saying? Once I had that realization like, yo man, I can't do it. No sooner than I had that, then this book came into my life. And through me, this is my interaction with the universe. I feel as though, or it's not I feel as though, for my life, the universe has been communicating with me through books. You know what I'm saying? This is how the universe communicates with me. You know what I'm saying? So this is how I got to the point where finally understanding what this thing was about, you know what I'm saying, and stuff. But it was this book right here with Neil Donald Walsh when it came to me, and it came to me immediately after this. After, you know what I'm saying, I felt as though I didn't understand it and I couldn't do it. This book came to me, Neil Donald Walsh and stuff. Somebody, matter of fact, I was in the library, somebody tapped me on my shoulder. Didn't know this guy from a can of paint, never seen him. I was looking for a book. He came to me. He had a book in his hand. I looked at him. He looked crazy as shit. Hair everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Shit looked crazy as shit. So I'm looking at the messenger. You know what I'm saying? And wasn't too fully paying attention to the message. But this was the message. And I almost missed it. He said, yo, man. I think this book was yours. You need to read this. You know what I'm saying? This is the book you was looking for. I took the book out of his hand, but I never looked at the book. I said, who the fuck is this guy? You know what I'm saying? Fuck, he walking up to me and shit like this, you know what I'm saying? So we'll get so focused on the messenger that sometimes we'll miss the message, you know what I'm saying? And it was a good thing that I tucked that book under my arm. I remember I tucked that book along with a Karl Marx book, you know what I'm saying? And stuff. And I took it with me, and I was reading the Karl Marx book, you know what I'm saying? But it really wasn't holding my interest, but it's a great book, you know what I'm saying? Because it's a book on how nations was actually founded, you know what I'm saying? And as far as the system that we use today, you know what I'm saying? A lot of us go by this Marxist theory, you know what I'm saying? But I put that book down and I looked at the book that he gave me. And the book said, Conversations with God. I said, let me see what the fuck this shit is about. You know what I'm saying? So I opened it. The first thing the book said was, if you're reading this book, it's not by coincidence that you got this book. You know what I'm saying? So that's right there. It's like, hold on, let me see what the fuck this shit is talking about. You know what I'm saying? So I went and reading it, you know what I'm saying? It was about a guy, you know what I'm saying? In 92, he was real frustrated with the way his life was going, you know what I'm saying? And during that time, he had got a pad and a pen, and he wound up scribbling some questions that he had because, for what I know, he was a writer, you know what I'm saying? He wrote for the Post and all this other shit, you know what I'm saying? Don't let me fuck up the story. I'm just giving y'all a little what I remember, you know what I'm saying? Boom. So as he was writing one day at his desk, you know what I'm saying, he was at a verge where his house was about to be took, and he going through all types of problems, you know what I'm saying? So he writing, yo, if God's real, why the fuck this and why the fuck that? Why the fuck we going through what we're going through right now? Why this and why that? So at the end of the writing, he said his hand got stuck, you know what I'm saying? And he couldn't throw the pen, you know what I'm saying? So he said it's like something just took his wrist and started writing on its own. And when it finished writing, he was like, yo, do you really want to know the answer to these questions, or are you just venting? You know what I'm saying? So he took it and ran with it. He said he wrote back. He was like, if there's answers to these questions, I sure as hell would like to know. You know what I'm saying? So the thing wrote back and said, yo, you sure as hell about everything, but why not try being sure as heaven about some things? You know what I'm saying? And that from there, he just started having a conversation with God. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm making is that I don't take everything literally. I'm not fascinated by a nigga talking about, oh, I can pray for you and I laid this motherfucker out and now they can walk and give me $100. I'm Peter Popoff and I send you the holy water and all that shit. I'm not into that shit. And I'm not out here trying to get people like that. You know what I'm saying? So certain things that come, I'm skeptical. I'm very skeptical of it. You know what I'm saying? But reading this book right here, after reading this book right here, you know what I'm saying? Conversation with God. This man was asking this nigga some questions. You know what I'm saying? Who are you? Who do you communicate with? You know what I'm saying? Why do you communicate with certain people like this? And one of the things that he said was that I communicate with everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's not the point of who I communicate with. It's the point of who's actually listening. You know what I'm saying? And shit. He said certain ways I communicate. I very seldom communicate with words. You know what I'm saying? I don't communicate with words because words can get misconstrued. You know what I'm saying? And shit. So the first way I communicate with people is through the language of the universe, which is feelings. He communicates through them feelings, you know what I'm saying? And everybody has these feelings, this GPS system within their body, you know what I'm saying? And stuff. You know what we call them feelings? A lot of us? We call it something. You know what I'm saying? Because after we do something and get ourselves in a jam, for me, it's jail time all the time. And shit. And after I get in that jail shit, I'm like, God damn it, something told me not to go the fuck over there, you know what I'm saying? But I done did it anyway, you know what I'm saying? And fucking when a nigga leave his girl and his girl say, yo, don't do it, baby, I just got this feeling, you know what I'm saying? And shit. But we be like, man, something told me, man. And I done did it anyway, you know what I'm saying? It's that something. That something is that feeling, that first feeling, you know what I'm saying? That ultimate universe, that God talking to you, you know what I'm saying? And telling you that GPS device that we all got within us. Don't do that. Don't do this. Don't go this way. Why? Because this is going to make your life miserable. Don't do that, you know what I'm saying? Or don't go over there. Your life may end going over there, you know what I'm saying? And shit, those feelings, those senses, those what do you call them? Survival instincts. This is what God speaks through. First and foremost, you know what I'm saying? So when you get them gut feelings, listen to them. But a lot of us in life don't listen to them. You know what I'm saying? And this is why our life is the way it is right now, because instead of us listening to ourselves, we listen to somebody else. You know what I'm saying? When we listen to somebody else, you know what I'm saying? This is where we find ourselves more miserable or in more fucked up situations than we would if we listened to ourselves. If we listen to that feeling. If we listen to that God that we keep throwing to the side. You know what I'm saying? And myself included. I'm not perfect. I'm still out here trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? And shit. So it's a lot of times that I throw that feeling. Fuck that feeling. I'm going to go ahead and want to do what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? We gotta get in tune with that feeling, because that feeling is that God talking to, that God that we always been searching for is right there, still. And even when we get in the jam, you know what I'm saying? That God and that feeling is still talking to us, directing us on how to get out of the jam and keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? So when he said that answer, you know what I'm saying? First and foremost, I talk to them feelings, you know what I'm saying? Second of all, when I can't communicate through feelings, I go to your thoughts, which is your dreams. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people's dreams is more activated than others. You know what I'm saying? For me, I hardly dream. But for some of these women out here, they always dreaming. I had a dream, my mom included, I had a dream about this and about that, you know what I'm saying? And they dreams be for real, you know what I'm saying? So this is life talking to them in that way, you know what I'm saying? And shit, and he said very last but not least, he'll use words, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why he don't use words because the way it come through, that's just like me telling you something on this camera right now, but even though I'm saying it in one way, when it hits all you many millions of people ears out there, y'all are going to perceive this information that I'm saying in many different million ways, you know what I'm saying? So this message is going to get misconstrued many different millions of times, to the point it ain't going to be the original message. You know what I'm saying? So this is why this God very seldom comes. It's something like how God came to somebody in the form of God. You know what I'm saying? And he came in the form of Moses as I am. And then he came in the form of Muhammad as Allah. You know what I'm saying? And he came in the form of Judaism as Jehovah Jireh. You know what I'm saying? So all these different forms that he came in, you know what I'm saying? He may have came in one form. You know what I'm saying? But they perceived it in these different ways. You know what I'm saying? And this is why we at the point where we at today. You know what I'm saying? Because people feel as though, oh, if he came to this man this way, that's just what the fuck it is. So whatever they're doing over there is wrong. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever they're doing is wrong. You know what I'm saying? The only way is the way that I know. You know what I'm saying? And shit. And that's not right. You know what I'm saying? Because with the way that you know what I'm saying, may not be the way that he really presented himself to somebody else. Everybody is different. And this is why the feelings. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm feeling, the next person is not feeling. Because what I'm going through, the next person is not going through. You know what I'm saying? So he has to talk to everybody individually. And that's one of the things this book says. I am the Lord, your God. I'm not the Lord, the God. I'm the Lord, your God. Your specific God. Your specific guidance. You know what I'm saying? And shit. You know what I'm saying? To help you. You know what I'm saying? Be the better you that you could be. You know what I'm saying? And shit. But that's going left ball field. But let me try to bring it back to the Constitution and the Ten Commandments. But before then, we wanted to keep continuing to show how this book is the greatest example on how a nation should conduct itself. And right here we go on to Moses, you know what I'm saying? For the Islamic community, they call him Musa, you know what I'm saying? And stuff. Boom. Now, these are the names of the children. We're going to skip all that right there, you know what I'm saying? And we're going to get straight to Moses, you know what I'm saying? And stuff. Boom. Now it rose a new king over Egypt who did not know Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Now, for those who don't know Joseph, you got Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Jacob changed his name to Israel when he wrestled with the angel, you know what I'm saying? And the angel broke his hip, you know what I'm saying? Changed his name to Israel because he said, yo, you have wrestled with men and God and you prevail. You know what I'm saying? And shit, so he changed his name to Israel. This is why this nation is called the nation of Israel. Well, Israel had 12 sons. And all these 12 sons represented a tribe. You know what I'm saying? At that time, they was doing tribal things. You know what I'm saying? And shit, and it could be compared to America, how America has different counties. You know what I'm saying? Delaware, you have Newcastle County. You have Sussex County. You know what I'm saying? You have Kent County. But in Maryland, you have Prince George's County. Prince George was an actual person. It's just like these people are actual people and each of them represents a tribe. You know what I'm saying? Just like Prince George or this day or George Washington County or whatever. These people represent counties and cities and states and all this. Even down to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King represents a lot of our boulevards in the hood. You know what I'm saying? So boom, these names right here are just a representation of the tribe. His sons became a representation of the tribes or the cities or however you want to put it within their nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So boom, where we at right now? He said, a king came up that did not know Joseph, and he said to his people, look, the people of children of Israel are more and mightier than we are. Come, let us deal shrewdly with them, and lest they multiply, and it happens that in the event of war, they become our enemies and fight against us. Therefore, they set taskmakers over Israel to afflict them with their burdens, and built for Pharaoh supply cities, Pithims and Ramses. But the more they afflicted them, the more they multiplied and grew in number, and they were in dread of the children of Israel. Now, the children of Israel, I want to change that name real quick because that probably fuck a lot of people up too out there. You know what I'm saying? So the children of Israel, let's change that to the nation of Israel. You know what I'm saying? So we'll get a better understanding. You know what I'm saying? So we change that. You know what I'm saying? And stuff, and say they were in dread of the nation of Israel. So the Egyptians made the nation of Israel serve with vigor, and they made their lives bitter with hard bondage, with mortar and bricks, and all manner of service in the field. All their service in which they made them serve was rigor. Then the king of Egypt spoke to the Hebrew midwives, whom the name of one was Sifra, and the name of the other was Pure. And he said, when you do the duties of midwife for the Hebrew women and see them in their birth stools, if it is a son, then you shall kill him. But if it was a daughter, you shall let him live. But the midwives feared God, and they did not do as the king of Egypt commanded them, but they saved the male children alive. You know what I'm saying? So the king of Egypt called for the midwives and said to them, why have you done this thing and saved the male children alive? And the midwives said to Pharaoh, because the Hebrew women are not like the Egyptian women, because they are lively and give birth before the midwives come to them. Therefore God dealt well with the midwives, and the people multiplied and grew very greatly. And so it was because the midwives feared God that he provided a household for them. So Pharaoh commanded all his people, saying, every son who is born shall we cast into the river, and every daughter you shall let alive. And the man of the house of Eli went and took as a wife a daughter of Levi. So the woman conceived and bore a son. When she saw that he was a beautiful child, she said, she hid him 3 months. When she could no longer hide him, she took an ark of bulrushes for him, daubed it with asphalt and pitch, and put the child in it and laid it in the reeds by the riverbank. And his sister stood far off to know what would be done with him. Then the daughter of Pharaoh came down to bathe at the river, and her maidens walked along the riverside. And when she saw the ark among the reeds, she sent her maids to get it. And when she opened it, she saw the child, and the baby wept. So she had compassion on him and said, this is one of the Hebrew children. Then his sister said to Pharaoh's daughter, shall I go call a nurse from the Hebrew woman that she may nurse the child for you? And Pharaoh's daughter said to her, go. So the maiden went and called the child's mother. Then Pharaoh's daughter said to her, take the child away and nurse him for me, and I will give you your wages. So the woman took the child and nursed him. And this is the point I'm getting to after all this. And the child grew and brought him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. So she called his name Moses, saying, because I drew him out of the water. Now it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown that he went out to his brothers and looked at their burdens, and he saw an Egyptian beating a Hebrew, which was one of his brethren. So he looked to the left and to the right, and when he saw that no one was around, he killed the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. And when he went out the second day, 2 Hebrew men were fighting. And he said to one of them, the one who did wrong, why are you striking your companion? And then he said, who made you prince and judge over us? Do you intend to kill me like you killed that Egyptian? So Moses feared and said, surely this thing is known. So he took flight, basically. You know what I'm saying? So now this is the point I'm making. When Moses took flight, we're going to skip to chapter 3. Now Moses, hold on, boom, because we don't need to skip that far. You know what I'm saying? And stuff. So boom. Alright, let's go back over here. When Pharaoh heard of this matter, he sought to kill Moses, but Moses fled from the face of Pharaoh and dwelt in the land of Midian. And he sat down by a well. Now the priest of Midian had 7 daughters, and they came and they drew water and they filled the troughs to the water. And then the shepherds came and drove them away. But Moses stood up and helped them and watered their flock. When they came to Ruel, the father said, how is it that you have come back so soon? And they told him that the Egyptian delivered us from the hands of the shepherds, and he also drew enough water for us. So he said to his daughters, and where is he? Why is it that you left the man? Call him. Then Moses was content to live with the man, and the man gave him Zipporah, his daughter, to Moses. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm making, the father's name was Jethro. You know what I'm saying? And Jethro was a priest in Midian. You know what I'm saying? Because we probably running out of time, you know what I'm saying, on this 15 minutes right here. So the point I'm making is this. We read that because that shows you the beginning of how the nation was actually formed. And what the importance of it is Moses. Now, what Moses did, you see that this is what God did, and this is how life worked with it. Moses was taken, and it wasn't no ordinary person that found Moses. It was Pharaoh's daughter. She took him in the crib, you know what I'm saying? Now, he grew in that crib. When the story said it came to pass, he grew up and he seen this before the killing. You know what I'm saying? It may have been 20, 30 years, you know what I'm saying? Because in actuality, say Moses didn't meet up with God until he was like in his late 80s or some shit around there. So he was in the house of Pharaoh all these years. Do you think he was just sitting there twiddling his thumbs? Fuck no. The man was learning. He was being taught how to conduct the nation, how to run a nation, you know what I'm saying? He was being taught Egyptian hieroglyphics, you know what I'm saying? So that's basically how to read, how to write, you know what I'm saying? The Pharaoh ain't just going to keep him there for nothing, so he's going to put him to work, you know what I'm saying? On learning little things in there and tricks of the trade on how to run a nation, you know what I'm saying? So from the time Moses was born, he was being built for this, you know what I'm saying? On to lead this nation of Israel and turn them into an actual nation. You know what I'm saying? So people that take this story and be like, all right, it was just some fairy dust on how it happened and how these people went into the promised land. No, it was actual steps that was being taken. And this was generations in the making. You know what I'm saying? Because after motherfucker Moses killed the Egyptian, you know what I'm saying, and went off to Jethro, you know what I'm saying? That's a big part of the story as well. You know what I'm saying? And this is on your first 2 chapters. And the significance of that is after Moses got the teaching on how to run a nation, now he was getting that spiritual teaching. Because now he went to Jethro, the priest. You know what I'm saying? And Jethro was the priest of his whole little city that he was in, or whole little country. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't no light thing for Moses to run into this man. So he was being groomed from that time, you know what I'm saying, to run into God. You know what I'm saying? So this is the steps that he was taking. Because right after that, this is when he runs into the burning bush. You know what I'm saying? And God speaks to him and say, yo, man, you the one going to lead these people out of this motherfucker. And Moses like, oh, look, hold on, man. Look, man, I stutter, you know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't built for that, you know what I'm saying? You are built for it. You've been built for this since birth. You may not know it, you know what I'm saying? But I know it, you know what I'm saying? And this is what's going to go down, whether you know it or not, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to send your brother Aaron, since you don't think I created the tongue, you know what I'm saying? And can have your stuttering ass in front of these motherfuckers. Getting these people out of here, you know what I'm saying? This ain't no light thing you about to be doing. But I need you to trust me. But since you don't got that much trust in me right now, you know what I'm saying? Then this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to send your brother Aaron out here. He on the way. And what you going to do is I'm going to speak to you, and then you going to speak to Aaron. And then Aaron going to speak to these motherfuckers. And we going to play it like that. Since you ain't got no trust. Now go get that rod, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to turn this into a snake in front of them. And we're going to do all these miracles. Not for me, you know what I'm saying? But for you to get the confidence in me. Because trust is everything, like how we talked about the last time. Trust don't just go one way. It go 2 ways. So now with this man, Moses, he had to instill in him like, yo, you can trust me. You know what I'm saying? And he did that. And he did that to a point so bad that later on in the book, Moses said, yo, man, don't you ever leave me. Because now you got me with all these 600,000 people, you know what I'm saying, that I'm leading out of this motherfucker. And if you leave me, goddammit, you know what I'm saying, I'm out of here. I can't do this without you. You know what I'm saying? So don't you leave me. I trust you. You know what I'm saying? Don't you leave me. You know what I'm saying? And this is why God had to keep assuring him, like, yo, I ain't going to leave you. I ain't going to forsake you, my nigga. I'm here. I'm riding with you. That trust is everything. You know what I'm saying? Trust, the definition of trust is to be reliable. You know what I'm saying? When people know that you're reliable like that, you know what I'm saying? And they got that confidence in you, they'll move for you. No questions asked. I'm there. You know what I'm saying? And this guy, as y'all can see, it wasn't no just thing that this trust was given to him. He earned that. You know what I'm saying? And it's the same thing with us. You know what I'm saying? Where as a nation, this trust is gone between us. You know what I'm saying? We have to reestablish this trust. Trust is everything. You know what I'm saying? But we was going into the commandments. You know what I'm saying? And how the commandments, you know what I'm saying, coincides with the Constitution of today. That was their Constitution of that time. And when God led them people out of Egypt, you know what I'm saying, into before they even got to the land, he established this constitution, you know what I'm saying, with them. And said, yo, these are the laws of your nation, not your religion, of your nation. You know what I'm saying? Love the Lord your God. Love your brothers. You know what I'm saying? Love your neighbor. Deal with your neighbor justly. Don't steal from your brother. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, because I'm about to make all of y'all prosperous. You know what I'm saying? To the point y'all got your own land and your own food and your own ox and your own cattle, which would be today with us, our own cars and our own crib and your own bitches and your own motherfucking families and your own kids. So you don't need to be doing all this shit. You know what I'm saying? Why would I fucking take from my brother if I got enough money for myself? I'm not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? So this is the rules and the laws and the Constitution that he was establishing. You know what I'm saying? Don't kill your brother. You know what I'm saying? If shit get that heated, you ain't got to kill a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Or you don't have to kill the person. You know what I'm saying? Damn, handle it another way. You know what I'm saying? That's your brother. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to do that to your brother. And it's the same thing. If you in the hood, no matter what hood you in, you know what I'm saying? If you in New York, you know what I'm saying? Washington Projects, in the Bronx, Seacourt Projects. If you in the hood, you in Wyandotte, you already know. You by the park, you know what I'm saying? You on the north side, you on the south side, you in the boondocks, that's your hood. You know what I'm saying? So all these people in the hood, you in Wilmington, you in Dover, you on New Street, you know what I'm saying? You in motherfucking Newark, you know what I'm saying? And shit, you in Hayes Homes, you on 6th Street, you on wherever you at, you know what I'm saying? You on Hawthorne, you know what I'm saying? And shit, you in DC, you know what I'm saying? Benning Road, you know what I'm saying? Fort Chaplain Projects, Minnesota, if you out there, PG County, whatever hood you in, that's your neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? That's your people. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be fighting with your people. I shouldn't be going next door to blow my neighbor head off. You know what I'm saying? Don't kill your neighbor. Hash that shit out some other type way. You know what I'm saying? Whatever he's going through. Because it's probably something real light. Oh, this nigga done fuck my bitch. Oh, fuck that. I'm about to go over here and kill him. Or this nigga owe me $5. He can owe me $5 for 2 weeks. So I'm about to go do this. The whole war just started. Over petty shit. You know what I'm saying? So these are little issues that, you know what I'm saying, could be hashed out. So this is the purpose of him establishing these 10 commandments. You know what I'm saying? Don't be jealous, don't be envious, you know what I'm saying? Don't go over there and fuck your girl's, your neighbor's bitch. If he not home. Why? Because that's your brother first and foremost. And second of all, there's plenty of other hoes out here to fuck. There's plenty of other bitches. There's plenty of other females out here to wife. So why would you be taking your brother? That's probably his only girl. He love her. He established a family with her. You know what I'm saying? He did this. Why? And that's your brother. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like you going, alright, I'm in motherfucking Jersey, but I'm going to motherfucking Florida to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? And while I'm down here, we partying. I may have fucked the broad down here, and it's a one night, and I'm never going to see her again. You doing this to your whole neighbor. That's next door in the hood. You know what I'm saying? That's something different. So that was the importance of the commandments that he telling. Don't do that to your neighbor. Goddamn. You're going to start a whole confusion. You know what I'm saying? And that was the importance of the 10 commandments. It wasn't him telling people like, oh, if you have sex outside a wedding, you know what I'm saying, then that's a sin and you're going straight to hell and all this goofy stuff. You know what I'm saying? No. That was rules for their nation, for their communities. And it was logical rules for them at that time. You know what I'm saying? For their nation to survive and succeed and be that strong nation and be that superpower of the world at that time. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure it's over the 15 minutes right now. So I'm going to go ahead on that note and end this. And the next time when we come about, we're going to go deeper into, you know what I'm saying, the nation and how Moses actually led this nation, you know what I'm saying, and how they came up, you know what I'm saying, because God didn't say, for all you people that think these were some holy people, you know what I'm saying, God calls them all throughout this book, say, yo, you some stiff-necked people. And don't think because of your righteousness that you going into this promised land. Because the whole time since I led y'all out of Egypt, y'all ain't been giving me nothing but static. I wanted to kill y'all and wipe y'all off and motherfucking start a whole new nation with Moses. And if it wasn't for Moses pleading with me time and time again saying, yo, don't do it like that, bro. Because if you do it like that, then your name is going to be tarnished because now all the other nations around is going to say, oh, this guy couldn't deal with these people. He just brought them out of that nation just to wipe them out. I don't want to deal with that guy. That's what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So Moses was even talking sense into God. You know what I'm saying? They said, nah, don't do it like that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Nah, we're going to hand these people and go. So he said, yo, don't think because of your righteousness y'all going into this land and possess it. Because, nah, y'all been giving me static. The whole way through, y'all been complaining, you know what I'm saying? Oh, ever since we came out of Egypt, we don't eat as good as we used to. That's like a joker coming out of jail talking about, ever since I came out of jail to the streets, I don't get 3 meals a day. Nigga, you really like that shit on the shingle? You want to go back to that? You know what I'm saying? And it's the same way with these people. They came out of slavery, and now because you over here and you eating manna and stuff, just for a little bit, until things get straight, you know what I'm saying? Oh, y'all complaining. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even let the get good yet. You know what I'm saying? So next time we going to go into that. But for now, let me give a shout out real quick to 9 Strong Women, man, for making this all happen. 9 Strong Women out there, you know what I'm saying? It's a great foundation in Newark, New Jersey, you know what I'm saying? And I want to give a shout out to them, you know what I'm saying? Because without them, you know what I'm saying, this wouldn't be possible right now and this wouldn't be going on, you know what I'm saying? So I thank them for giving me that motivation and that confidence, you know what I'm saying, to hit these videos and actually get this message out there, you know? So till next time, man, it's Shoot the Breeze, man. See y'all.